guys, what's up? Hello, welcome. How we doing, everyone? Just gonna wait for a few people to join in. Oh my goodness, so I slept in. Hey, Nikisha, good to see you. I slept in today, so I am just slow. Just you guys. I don't usually sleep in until I slept in until 10, which is like a record for me. So I needed it. I had a very busy week. I didn't get a lot of sleep this week, but I am still asleep apparently. So hopefully I'll wake up as we do the live. But how you guys doing? What's going on? Excuse me. That's gorgeous of me, of course. See, it's like I just woke up. I swear to God. I've been up though. I've been up. I'm good, guys. Hi, Mimi. Hey, Johnny. How we doing, guys? Welcome. Oh my goodness. What's been going on, by the way? How are you guys? Anything new happening with you guys? Let me know. I'm having a green tea because I need caffeine, apparently. It's so funny how, like, when you wake up early, you're, like, energized and everything, but then when you sleep in, you're tired. It just doesn't make any sense. You'd think that when you're more rested, you'd have more energy, but apparently not. Hi guys, welcome. All right, so we're gonna get started in a couple of minutes while everybody's just trickling in. But I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's dealing well with the world. What's going on? There's always drama. This is welcome to planet Earth. Thank you, Kulani. You know what I mean? So we'll see what comes up in the group reading today before we start doing one-on-ones. But if you guys have anything specific that you need help with or whatever, of course, just send me that energy and we'll see what comes up. In the meantime, what else has been happening? I can't think of anything. I've just been working. I've just been like, ooh, I booked another film, so I'm filming soon. I have a film out, by the way, if you guys want to watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. Hey, Kulani. It's called The Housemaid. So it's about an AI robot that basically takes over, and I'm like the tech guy. I don't have it's not a big role, but I have a little role. So just FYI, if you guys are interested to see me in a different vision. All right, guys. So let's get into the group reading. So I'm inviting you just to send me your energy, and then Kulani, you sent me your donation, so you're first in the line, and then I'll get to everybody else. Louisiana, recovering from my multi-level neck fusion. Ooh, I'm sorry. Aw, well, me too. I'm still waking up too, Kelly. I feel you. I woke up today at 10 and I'm still half asleep. So, yeah. So if you guys Google my name, usually like my IMBD comes up and then you can see the stuff that I've done. I don't recommend watching everything because some of the things that I've done are terrible. But that one's actually a pretty solid, little indie film that I did. And I was like, it's pretty good. I give it. Okay, so let's get into the group reading, guys. So I mean, just give me a second just to tune in and hopefully wake up. I'm gonna get some energy from up there. Oh, this one wants to come out. Yeah, but it's okay. Sometimes you got to give yourself the rest. You know what I mean? You can't always be go go go. And I've gotten pretty good at that now. So some days I feel like I'm like, not as productive, but that's okay. We're humans. We're not meant to always be doing things. Sometimes you're just meant to be chilling. Ooh. So just quick reminder, guys, this is a quick group reading first. Hello, for those of you who just joined, welcome. And then we'll get into the 101s that wanted to come out, but it didn't flip over. And any suggestions, by the way, of any courses that you guys want me to do? Ooh, a lot of heart chakra stuff, you guys. Oh, itchy nose. Here we go. My itchy nose hasn't been coming as often. Cassie, good to see you. Okay. Interesting. So I feel, guys, that so again, this is a group reading, so take it or leave it as it comes. If it doesn't resonate with you, just let it go. But I do feel like for some of you, there is like friendships, relationships, and even new love energy coming in. This, again, new love can also mean like a new job or a new idea or a new something. So always just understand that this is, again, expansion. But there is something, and it's to do with the heart. So what I heard is a lot of heart stuff coming up. So healing relationships, awakening relationships, new relationships. So, and I feel like it's also repairing some relationships. So again, it's all to do with the heart. So I'm not quite sure what that means for some of you, but I feel like for some of you, there's also like, some of you are receiving relationship, but some of you also like losing a relationship. And the card essentially here is telling you to look at the silver lining. This came up in a reading the other day where somebody was like upset that this relationship broke up, right? And I understand that because we get attached to people, and new beginnings and starting over. That's a good one. So I'm just going to write it down. And sometimes, you know, if I look back at some of the relationships that I had that I really like loved these people, I was very bonded with them. We had the best time ever. But my God, they were terrible. Like, if you really look back, they were, you know, probably some level of toxicity. There was like a level of codependency there because, you know, I mean, nothing's ever perfect, but when you're evolving, when you're shifting, when you're moving up, some relationships will hold you back. Some relationships will. Drake, you're obsessed with my Reiki now. I got you, man. We'll do it at the end like we did last time. So essentially, they're a blessing in disguise, and we have to sometimes accept the fact that by holding on to things that are outdated can hold us back in life, and especially relationships. And again, I still have some of my old friends in my life, but you know, I mean, I go and see them and they're still in the same spot, they're still doing the same stuff. And that makes me aware of the fact that if I was still hanging out with them or doing the same stuff, I would be still doing that stuff. And I find myself falling back into the old habits when I'm around them. Nothing wrong with that. It's good to have fun. It's good to party once in a while. It's good to, you know, but again, I'm on a mission and I'm trying to get somewhere. If I held on to that lifestyle or to that relationship, it would hold me back and I wouldn't be moving forward. So sometimes it does require a level of sacrifice, and we have to accept that. And I know it's very difficult, but I think this is something that maybe one of you needs to hear, or somebody who watches the replay later. The other thing is fight for justice. So there needs to be some rebalancing, okay? So I think, again, this is happening. Whatever you're losing or whatever's coming in and out is about rebalancing the energies and rebalancing the dynamic. So it's just saying don't give up. Just trust that things will eventually work out. It's just a matter of time. But there is something that is off the scale. So it just needs to be rebalanced, if that makes any sense. Losing some friends after my surgery, sadly. People I thought were told they would be there. Oh, yes. And nope. Now I see people in different light. Yes, Kelly, that's a big one. You know your friends very quickly when you're going through a tough time. And that's what happened to me. You know, when I had my nervous breakdown or whatever, I had one person who found me like 3 days later that I was at home. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get out of bed. She had to bathe me because it was that bad. And I had no one. But again, that also for me, I mean, you know, it's hard sometimes to find, you know, relationships are difficult. You know, sometimes, yes, it is the person. I mean, people at the time could not deal with such intense situation. They didn't know what to do, you know. So yeah, we can be mad at them at the same time, but at the same time, I would have been there for them. I would have shown up and I would have done things for them. So it is sad. It's a wake-up call. But that's why it's important to surround yourself with people who you know will be there for you. It's important to learn to take care of yourself in that way. Like now, if something happened, I know my husband would be there for me. That's very important. We need that person who's going to show up for us. So hi Alicia, good to see you. Okay, so Kulani, you're first. Let's get into your reading. And welcome guys. By the way, for those of you new, hi, my name is Jacqueline. I do these hopefully once a week depending on my schedule. So Kulani just gave a donation. So essentially, if you give a donation, of course, it's not expected. You just lock your position in, you get a longer reading. If not, after that, I would just ask questions and just do readings. So waiting for Kulani to send her question and then we'll get into it. Okay. This has been a terrible week. I'm in that 5 of Cups energy at the moment. I love a card. I'm just super tired and sad. Oh, I'm so sorry. Got your donation, Kelly? I'm sorry, man. Yeah, it's That's the heart. Okay, let's see what comes up. I'm just going to tune into your energy. And then if you guys hang out until the end, thanks to Drake, he's been loving my angel Reiki session. So we'll do a self Reiki at the end of this if you guys like. So I'll teach you how to basically heal yourself through a quick meditation practice. Very powerful, but very activating. So it's going to clear out some negativity within us and hopefully wake me up. I'll wake up eventually today. So let's see what's going on with you. And then Kelly, I got your donation, so you'll be next. Yeah, so again, guys, I got a lot of heart stuff coming up at the moment. So I'm not quite sure. Okay, so Kalani, first and foremost, I want to tell you some good stuff is coming in. Okay, I know it's been a little bit tough, but I do get new love energy and new career. So I'm not quite sure what's going on, and we'll get to the bad stuff in a second. But I think it's very important for you to know that new stuff is coming in, and I think this is because whatever's going on right now has been a clearing. You needed to get rid of some of this, like, or at least be aware of some of this heaviness that's going on, because sometimes again it comes to the surface because we have to get rid of it, or we have to face it, or we have to deal with it, and we don't want to. Rightfully so. But I do see some good stuff coming in, and there's two new energies coming in, so it's probably, it felt heavier than usual because there's extra layers that needed to get cleansed and cleared and dealt with and risen. Okay, so the first card that you got is Swift Decisions. Okay, so you're gonna get to a point right now where you're just gonna have to start making decisions, because I think that you're in a limbo a little bit. This is why you're feeling a little bit lost and a little bit like it's been difficult, because it wants you to rise above these things. It wants you to get to the other side. Sometimes we can just procrastinate on things, or we avoid things, or just sometimes it's just too difficult, and it's like rightfully so, just like I can't deal with this, or we don't see it. Sometimes we don't even see the problem, right? So the point is, there are things that are happening, right? Imagine these are all the issues that you're going through, all the negativity, and you got to just basically overcome them. And this is why you're facing what you're facing right now, because they're showing you that this is a time to really just have to rise above it and get to the other side, so that you can get to these energies, because these energies are coming in and they want you to be ready for it. Great. And that's the point. It's more like taking more decisions and making decisions and just saying, all right, even though I feel like crap, even though I'm feeling like this, I gotta make a decision, because that's how you overcome it. That's how you get to the other side. Okay, so ultimately what I'm hearing here is, don't be afraid to make decisions. The decision is the most important thing. Whether it's right or wrong, it's not the point. The point is they're trying to teach you to move forward, so not to be stuck. And this is going to make sense right now, because these are the two energies that you're in. So you see how both of these are trapped, and the swords are oftentimes representing thoughts, right? Our thoughts. So really what's holding you back, sometimes it's ourselves. You know, it's not even so much the circumstances outside as our depression, our negativity, how we get influenced and affected by these negative thoughts, and they slow us down, and then we make poor decisions, or we don't make decisions at all. Again, I'm hearing the non-making decisions, right? So the fact that you made a decision, it's going to open up the energetic channels, and you're going to suddenly feel this like boost of energy to get to the other side, or at least start to see the road ahead. But when we're in this like, everything's effed and I can't do anything and I don't know what to do, poor me, which is, again, sometimes it is valid. Most of the time actually it's valid, or we wouldn't feel that way, but it doesn't serve us. It doesn't get us anywhere. So ego, internal politics. So when I'm hearing this, essentially it's like, when the ego comes up again, it's just identity. So in what ways do you identify yourself? Do you see yourself as somebody who isn't very strong? Do you see yourself somebody who needs help to get over things? Do you see yourself somebody as, like, again, that's the question that I keep coming up. So notice how you identify yourself, And if it's possible, can we begin to shift that identity? Because again, that's just a decision that we're making. So part of your decisions as well isn't just about taking action, it's also internal decisions on how you see yourself and how you think about yourself. So if I see myself, for instance, as a loser, my decisions are going to follow that energy, and they're not going to be great. But if I start seeing myself as a fighter, or somebody who tries, or somebody who is determined, or somebody who, and those, both of those can be true. Again, it just depends on what you choose in that moment. So what I'm hearing here is like, can you start shifting some of these thoughts to align with things that can get you forward? So again, if we identify somebody who's depressed or sad, that is also true. But you can also identify somebody who's going through a tough time right now, but you're working your way out of it. So again, we have to remember how powerful our thoughts and our choices and how we think are, because we don't think of it that way, but really when you sit down and reflect upon that, you notice that your thoughts really have an impact on a lot of things. And the continuous progress, again, like this is a great card to get, because you see how he's holding flowers but he's stuck. There is actually things that you can be grateful for. But again, there's so much like negativity sometimes that it makes it like, it's almost like that's bigger than this little thing that I have. But sometimes it's just that little seed that we need to make a huge impact. So what I'm hearing here as well is like thinking about the things that you might be grateful for right now. I know there's something that you have right now that is really good. And yeah, sure, everything else is crappy, but again, it's where you put your focus, right? So if you can begin to shift your focus towards the little things that are working for you, that again amplifies that positive energy, and that gets you to move forward. So it's very simple, but it's to the point. And again, I'm hearing this is because there are good things coming in for you, and they want you to be ready for it. They want you to be open and receptive to it. Exactly, yeah. So I know it. Hi, Eileen. So I know it's tough because I get it. And again, that's the silver lining thing that we have to notice, because at the end of the day, these people have always been the way that they have been. And when these things happen, even though at the time it may feel like a bad thing, the truth of the matter is it's a good thing, because now you know, right? And so now that I know that these people were not really going to help me out and be there for me when I really needed it, what if, like, you know, but now I know that there are some people who are going to show up and help me. And that just goes to show maybe where you need to start putting your focus and your energy and your attention towards, and start feeding the people and giving love to the people who are actually going to be there for you. Of course, doesn't mean take it away from the other person, but it shows you the truth, right? So it helps you and it helps the situation a little bit more. I'm hoping this is making sense. Let me see if I can get anything else. This one needs to come out. You know, again, it's like when I got sick and my best friend at the time just bailed. You know, and it's sad, it's heartbreaking, because you think that the one person, but again, I can also understand this person does not deal with heavy emotions very well. So, you know, it was too much for them, and I don't know what they were going through, and I don't think that they were a bad person, but what it told me is that they're not reliable, and that's okay. And then I started to create relationships with people that I could rely on if I needed that. So that's my job, to take care of myself in that department. And again, it's easier said than done, I know. These three came out by themselves, so we're just going to go for that. Again, so determination and self-control, acknowledge the success by others. So this is, again, just moving forward. Just keep going. Just keep pushing through. It's going to be okay. It's going to get better. Things are going to move forward. PMG. That's what PMG is. Oh, Janine, that's amazing. You got the grant. I knew it. Exactly what I've had. Thank you, Vicky. Sorry, I'm just reading PMG. What is PMG? Sorry. Is a sense of unreliable people is exactly what I've had. Okay, got it. Yeah. But oftentimes, Kulani, this is the thing that's very difficult to accept. We are attracted to that type of person. So we create bonds and relationships, like trauma bonding, okay? So when when these things happen, when we start seeing a pattern in the relationships that we keep recreating, that's actually coming from us. I mean, those people are going to do what they're going to do, right? But why is it that I had this connection with that specific person? And why isn't it that I went and had a connection with the person who was actually going to take care of me? So that was something that I started thinking of at the time. And for me at the time, I was not in a good place. That is why I had my mental breakdown, because I was depressed. I was having issues. I was not treating myself very well. I wasn't taking care of myself very well at the time. I'm not saying that this is what you're doing. I'm just telling you what my experience was, and maybe there's some synchronicity here. But ultimately, I can't expect somebody to treat me well if I don't know how to treat myself well. The minute I started healing myself and treating myself better, I will no longer accept those kind of relationships in my life, because I care about myself now. I prioritize my well-being. And again, I will still have friends like that, but they're not like, like my husband or my friend across the street, who I know if anything happens, they're going to be like there for me. That's very important, because I know I'll be there for them. So there's a level of equality, and no longer giving more or taking more. Like there's just a level of balance in there, and it's also fulfilling my needs, the things that I need in a friendship. But before, I didn't know what I needed, because I didn't know myself as well. So again, these are just things maybe to reflect upon, right? And it's okay that these relationships fell apart, because I've been overgiving, really. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, Kulani. So when we overgive, what are you trying to get? So when I'm giving, is because deep down, I really need something from this person, and I'm trying to do everything possible to keep them there. Maybe subconsciously, right? I want the friendship, or I want the security. But again, if we keep going to the wrong people to get that, we get, number one, they just take it and they abuse it, and then two, you're never going to get what you want, no matter how much you give, right? So that's why we have to start giving to the right people. And these things happen because they're showing the light on the people that you're never going to get that from that person, unless they have an epiphany and they suddenly just have a change of heart and go, okay, I'm going to be a better person now. So a couple of things that also came up, my love, is just that, again, a lot of heart chakra stuff again, guys. But detox, okay, Kulani. So there's a need to detox your energy. I think there's a need to do some healing and some understanding that, again, it's, the people do what they do, but the only thing that we can change and heal is ourselves. So right now, there's stuff that you're holding on to, there's stuff that you're carrying on in your system that needs to be detoxed, that needs to be released, that needs to be let go of. If you can start taking these things out of you, it's almost like you're going to feel lighter and clearer, basically. So there are meditations that you can do. In fact, I even just pinned down how to shield yourself. But that's going to be a good one, even just around people, okay? Hey, Jacqueline, thank you so much for inspiration. Absolutely love hearing this, and so happy I found this. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. I just kicked everything. It's like, gonna knock everything over. So, but can I just say, my love, Kalani, the reason why you need to do this detox is because there is something much better waiting for you on the other side. So again, I'm feeling like there's this new friendship, new relationship coming in, and something else financially as well. So I feel like, again, right now it feels heavy and disappointing, and everything is like sucks, but there is something beautiful coming in for you. I wanted a sense of belonging. Well, I also did find belonging in the most you expected places, unexpected places. I have a week now, so I will indeed just release and let go and detox, but and I think okay, and energetically, got it. Yeah, so it's more about just like accepting. I got it. It's more about just acceptance, because it's hard to accept the truth sometimes. It's hard to see things for what they are, and it's disappointing, and it's hurtful. But when we can accept it the way we are, and it's going to take time, then there's that, like, where we hold on to things, there's just that release and that relax, and it gives way for new things to come in. And again, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you see the truth in a person, it's like you can go back, but then you're lying to yourself the whole time, and it's almost like you're abusing yourself, trying to force this old thing to keep working out, and it's not going to work out because now you see it and you know you're being lied to. but you're choosing to be lied to at that point. So it's kind of like self-abuse almost. So listen, client, you're worthy, okay? You're worthy of a better friendships. You're worthy of better relationships. Shit happens sometimes because it's meant to. It's meant to show you the truth, and sometimes the truth sucks. But the truth will lead you to a better thing. That I can guarantee. It's never you're never gonna be led to something terrible by having the truth told to you. It might hurt. It might feel uncomfortable. It might suck. But it will always lead eventually to the best and highest outcome that is needed for you. And again, that's a mantra that you can start telling yourself. Even though this sucks, even though I hate this, I trust that this is going to lead for something much better and more in alignment with my highest and greatest good. Because if we resist that, then we create more suffering. And that's, again, the ego attachment, right? So when we accept it and we're like, okay, I know this sucks and it's awful and I'm sad and I love this person, but it's just not going to work out. I let them go. I let myself go. I forgive them. I forgive myself. Never forgive forcefully. And I trust that something bigger, better is going to come into my life that is more in alignment with what I truly am and with what I truly deserve. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So sometimes even just saying that can like make you feel a little bit better. And that's sometimes all that you need for the day. So do some healing, do some detoxing, maybe some energy Reiki stuff. I do have some meditations on my YouTube. I think I have an angel Reiki one. That would be a good one. But just trust, okay? And it's going to be okay. It just needs a little bit of time. And I'm so sorry that you're going through this. It's never fun. I've been there myself. But I promise you, it does get better and it does get easier. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, I've had a fun life. So, all right. So now, Kelly, you're next. I am needing a change in life. I am lonely. Is there a partner possibly coming in? I'm so uncomfortable in life. I am considering a move. Please, some guidance with this. That move may help me with finding a new partner, or is it just time for only me? Okay, so a couple of things first. I'm going to pin my course on Insight Timer here for you. Here we go. I do recommend that you do this course that I'm pinning right now. That is actually to attract soulmates. It's going to be a good one just to help you with the basics on the work that you can do internally to attract and manifest. By the way, this is also good for friendships as well, okay? So that course, you can also do it to attract a friendship or, you know, just essentially some kind of relationship. But, of course, the main intention is soulmate. So let's find out. No, I can't sing that song. Damn you. What's his name? He ruined it for everybody. R. Kelly. You can't sing his song anymore. It doesn't have the same positive energy. Aw, that's so good. Hey, Carla. That's so good to know, Cassie. I'm grateful for that. Okay, love this. Ooh. Sorry, I get excited when I see like ritual stuff. It's like manifestation time. Ooh, oh, that one popped. Ooh, another one popped. Ooh, I like this. You got some good cards, girl. It's not a bad thing. One more. Oh, okay, apparently 7 more. That's too many. I want it to be specific. Give me 1 second. No, I can't sing that song. Damn you, R. Kelly. Okay, sorry. I'm cracking myself up over here, forgetting that there's people watching. Okay, so girl, you gotta believe in magic. So when this card comes up, essentially it's saying you gotta believe it's possible. So I think there's a part of you that has given up. There's a part of you that is like, sometimes when we get to a certain age, even in my 20s, I was like this, by the way. So I get it. But you get to a point where you're just like, oh my God, there's no good people out there. All the men suck. Everything is blah and like blah, 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 right? So that's what you believe. And when you start believing that, guess what? The universe says, sure, my love, here's more of that. Here's more of these things that we want to be pessimistic and negative about. And it's usually because you've had so many bad experiences. The reptilian brain just kicks in. It's like, hey, we're going to go in survival mode. We're going to protect you so that you don't get hurt anymore. Let's just be pessimistic from the beginning. So obviously it makes it easier for us not to be disappointed. Also, you got to look at your protective mechanisms, your subconscious protective mechanisms. I used to, and I hate saying the word losers, okay, because I find it very demeaning towards people. This is what my somebody told me once, is like, you're attracted to losers. Why? Because I know it's going to fail from the beginning, but this is very subconscious stuff. I would go for people who were a mess, who were not in a good place, who were abusive, who were mean, who were this, who didn't have their shit together, because I was setting myself up for failure. Yes, bad divorce after 40 years. Yeah. So when we're tainted like that, when we create these negative patterns subconsciously or consciously or whatever, just to protect ourselves, we create beliefs, and these beliefs essentially manifest the situation that we're in. Okay. So one of the things we've got to start looking at those beliefs, we have to rewire them. Okay. Very, very important, because if you really, and it's also what you don't believe. When it comes to beliefs, it's what you believe, but also what you don't believe. I don't believe that there's any good people out there. I don't believe that I believe I'm too old, or I'm not attractive enough, or again, I could give you a list of things that we tell ourselves, right? So people who attract relationships, if you ever see those people who attract relationship after relationship, if you really notice, they never say that stuff to themselves. It's the people who are very pessimistic and negative and attached to these identities that have a hard time creating relationships. Think about it. And I even can think about like I know people who are like serial relationship people, like they just jump from relationship. I've never ever heard them say anything negative about like, oh, there's no good people out there. They might end up in crappy relationship, but they're always in a relationship. And I never heard them or seen them or seen themselves shut themselves off from that frequency of possibility. So believe in magic. You got to start believing, Kelly, that is possible for you. And oftentimes the reason why we don't do that is because we're afraid of getting disappointed. It's like, oh, what if I put all my hopes and dreams into it and nobody shows up? Wow, that's where detachment comes in. Okay, so yes, I believe, but at the same time, I'm okay if it doesn't happen. And that's the hard part. That's the key to manifestation. Because if you really believe it's going to happen, you don't need to worry about when or how. It's more like, okay, I'm worthy. You do your thing, universe. I'm cool. I'm just chilling. He was only one I was with. I believe there are good ones. Just a bit scared to get hurt again. Yeah, but again, even just the fear of getting hurt. I mean, it's normal. We're going to get hurt in love, guys. That's the things that we have to fix. This is what I knew my phone was going to start ringing. That's the hard part. We have to believe love is tough, man. Even if I'm married, sometimes my husband says stuff that hurts me. I say things to him that hurt him. We're going to get hurt. Okay? So we'll get into it in a second. So a couple of things. This course is going to help you a lot. So what I see is that we're going to get to it, but Kelly, what I see is that you got to start making some manifestation practices around this. So what I'm seeing right now is essentially is like divination. Okay, so you see how she's doing like a little ritual near a fire and that kind of thing. So those kind of practices, Drake, what are you saying? No problem. I'm assuming that's what MP. Your classes kept getting cancelled. Not sure what you mean. Could you clarify, please? Thank you very much. So practices, and this course will give you some of those practices, but like, let's just say when I started healing my relationship stuff, I would do very, very simple things. Like I would just do affirmations every day around saying, I am loved. It is safe for me to be loved. I am worthy of a healthy relationship. Even just repeating those 3 words over and over, that's a ritual. At night, I would hold my own hand. So I would pretend like somebody was in the bed with me, and I would hold my own hand, because I too used to get lonely. And that little self-comfort, I used to hug myself. when I needed that comfort, that love. I would give myself that affection that I wanted from somebody else. And see the key here. I'm giving myself what I need from somebody else. The minute I fulfill that within myself, guess what happens? You attract it. That's the key. That's the secret. Okay? So these are little things that you can do, Kelly. I would take myself out on dates. I would take myself out to dinner. I would pretend that I already had a partner, but I wasn't doing it intentionally that way. Like, that's basically quantum leaping. I would treat myself the way I wanted a partner to treat myself. I would touch my body in ways that I'd want somebody to touch me. So I would give myself that love, that affection, that gentleness, that very thing that I seeked. So when you start doing that, sorry, itchy eye, first one, usually I have itchy nose. These are little things that you can start doing, but I did it consistently. So every night, whenever I felt lonely, whenever that emotional trigger would come up, I would hold my hand and I'd say to myself, I love you. I would give myself that little, and it felt weird at first, but then you get used to it and you're like, this is kind of nice actually. Your nervous system will come down. Pure intention. Next, you got to set an intention. Okay, so now that we've established all of this, what is your intention? What do you want to bring in? Who do you want to bring in? And Kelly, when it comes to love, very important, do a list. And do a list of needs and wants. Wants are things like, I want a tall guy who's a multi-millionaire, who is blah 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 blah, all the whatever, right? But the wants will fade away. The wants are the things that, he's going to get old and he might, have an accident. He might be in a wheelchair. Who knows? Let's just not bad, but I'm saying things will change. The needs are the things that will never change in that relationship. The needs are the things like, he will always be there for me and will not abandon me. I will feel safe in this relationship. This person prioritizes time with me, prioritizes affection. What are your 5 love languages? Is it touch? Is it gifts? Is it quality time? For me, it's quality time because my father left. So I never see my dad, still to this day. Okay? So these are the things that you put the needs. You're getting clear in what you want. And then, of course, always let it go. The next thing is you got to surrender some stuff from your past, okay? You got to break free. I do see possible moving. So it can be courageous, make a choice that can change your situation. Not seeing things clearly. So I do see you breaking free from something, breaking out of something, letting go of something, okay? So whether it is the hurt or whether it is moving, I'm not quite 100% sure, but look what happens. There's a relationship there for you, okay? So there is a connection. There is somebody. So that's amazing. And I feel like this person is part of your soul contracts. So I think it's like a big relationship, and it's going to bring you new beginnings. It's going to change everything for you. So it's a beautiful, happy ending for you, my friend. But these are the things that you got to do. You got to do the work. Okay? So sometimes we want the universe to do things for us. Yes, it's there for you. It's there for you. And it's even like, almost even like a family. I know, of course, it's maybe you're not going to have your own family, but they already might have kids and you might be part of that family. But it's going to bring back that family unit that you also desire, that you also been craving. So, look, you got to do the work though, my friend. You have to be committed to the practice every single day, and with the understanding that this is a done deal. So when it's a done deal, the desperation, the neediness is gone. It's just openness and ready for it when it comes. So very, very different, because if we have that neediness, then it makes us desperate and then we do stupid things. But if we can just trust, like I always said when I met my husband, I didn't even realize that he was the one until like 3 years later, because I still needed to do healing work. But when I met him, I was like, I could not be in a relationship and I'd be the happiest person on the planet, because I already gave myself everything that I needed through those practices. So I was so happy with myself. I finally enjoyed my own company. I wasn't feeling lonely anymore. Guess what happens? You meet the person. Haha. So the irony of that, but it sucks, of course, at the same time. So do you understand that, Kelly? I know we had to go long in this, but I really had to give you like the whole spectrum, because it has to be clear. This is what I've prayed for. The family is what I've wanted so much, and I have older children, but I miss more family. Yes. So that's part of your needs, Kelly. Again, I want a family. I need a family. I need somebody who makes me feel part of the family. Another reason why I met my husband, he's very close with his family and they have an amazing relationship. I'm not close with my family and I do not have an amazing relationship with my family. So I created something that I needed and that I was not getting. Does that make sense? That's why you have to make the list. That's why you have to dive deep and really understand what it is that you need. Because then when you see him, you'll know. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Mimi. Make sense? So you got this. It's there. Just do the work. So sign up for the course. This is just going to give you a few practices, and it's also good to do it every day just to get your mind going. But do the little things that I said to you. You know, it's like for me, affection was very important. And when you believe it or not, when we get a hug from somebody else, doesn't your whole body just feel, unless of course you have issues with being touched by other people. But in general, you know, when we're feeling safe and we're balanced, when we get a hug, your nervous system calms down and feels safe. Why not give it to yourself? When I achieved something, I would high five myself, literally, because nobody ever praised me for achieving anything. And so I would just literally like, well done, Jack. I literally high five myself. Okay? I don't care what people think. I didn't care. I was giving myself everything that I needed, as crazy as it looked, and it helped so much. And that's the point. That's all that matters. Oh, I love that for you, Kelly. So just do the work, okay? The key is do the work. Do the work and it'll happen for you. Okay, so let's move on to Mimi. Oh my God, I love tea. I'm obsessed with tea. Look at this. I got my gorgeous little, I found this at I love thrifting, and I found this at the Salvation Army, and it's just giving me like royalty, woo-woo vibes at the same time. I don't know why. Because I like to drink a lot of tea, and then like, have you guys seen my giant cup? I usually have. Well, now I have a cup. All right. Yay. So happy for you, Kelly. All right. Mimi, what's your question, my love? Hair is going crazy. Welcome, everybody, by the way, for those of you just joined. Hi. Thanks for hanging out. I'm waking up very slowly from this morning. I slept in. Yes, I never do it. So I am officially semi-awake. But present. I'm present. It's just my body is like, hello, I gotta wake up. And that's what it feels like. Career, financial, and love. Okay, let's find out. Let me just tune in. My cards want to come out and play. Ooh, wow, okay. Got a lot of blue. It tells me a lot as well about the colors and the type of cards that you guys are connected to, because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks here. And so it's always interesting to me what card is chosen. I don't choose it, I just feel it in my hands. They tell me what they want to say, so I trust that process a lot. Okie doke. So the first card that you got is the Kitchen Witches. Okay. So I got 2 things with this one for some reason. I don't know. I have a feeling. Like, do you work with herbs and oils or whatever? Like, I'm feeling like there's something around that. But okay, that's part of it. But then the other part of it is also like what you're ingesting. What time is it here? It's 3:44 p.m. I'm in Los Angeles. LA. So I feel like, I don't know why I'm hearing, I mean, I'm just going to trust what's coming through. So one of the things is like, you really got to just trust your own magic, my friend, and just start like, all your body every day. Okay, so doing with intention and with magic, with protection. So there's, I mean, I'm assuming you're already kind of doing it, but maybe it's time to upgrade that spell or that practice. Because one of the best cards that I love that come up here is like, you've got to fight for yourself and you've got to fight for what you believe in. And I think there's a part of you that's lost a little bit of confidence. So it's almost like rising up to something. So the practices or whatever, it's like sometimes we do the same things over and over again, but we've upgraded our energy, and those practices don't align anymore. So we have to upgrade those practices to match the frequency that has shifted. For some things. So I'm hearing here that essentially it's like everything that you're doing right now, just very much with intention, you know. So like whether you're ingesting it or whether you're putting it on your body or whatever, these practices can be done with like very clear intention. Yes, sometimes I hear that and then I doubt what I am hearing. There it is. That's the problem. It's the doubt, okay? You got to stop doubting yourself, Mimi. You actually, like, this is what came up. This card really stood out to me. Confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. But when I see a dragon energy, this is dragon energy, you got to fight. So this is an internal fight that you have to overcome. This is not something that anyone can teach you or do. This is something that you have to do for yourself. So one of the ways to do it is that when you hear those things, just do it. Just do it. What have you got to lose? So you got to ask yourself the question is, why don't I do it? And oftentimes it's because it's the ego that shows up and is like, but why would you want to change? Everything's fine. Oh, it's a lot of effort. Well, I have to do more of this and I don't have enough time. Whatever the story is, right? So again, I always say this now, one of the things I've learned in my practice is if I get an intuition on something, I will follow through, and I'd rather be wrong than right. In the sense of like a stupid example, like sometimes I drive on the freeway. If I see an animal on the side and I'm not sure if it's completely dead, I will drive all the way back to just go back and check up on it. Because for me, the thought of having to sit there and think about the fact that it could have been alive and that I could have saved, and I've done it before, and or the fact that, you know, I went there and it's dead, I was like, okay, at least I have a peace of mind. Does that mean it's a stupid example, but that's the only one that came up in my head. But it's like, at least I have the peace of mind and I know it's dead, and I move it into the side and I give it like love or whatever, but then I move on. But if I don't pick it up or check, I'm going to be thinking about it all day, and then I'm going to have that regret. I feel powerful even in manifesting, but then I am like, can I be that powerful? So that's the thing that you got to start. You can't allow that programming to come through. And again, I think it comes down to just the fear of thinking of yourself as like bigger than thou, you know. And first and foremost, even if you do, who fucking cares? Like, let's just be real. You know, unless you're like going around and putting people down. If you're not hurting anyone, who gives a shit? But it's like anybody who is very successful, you have to have a level of ego. Like, you have to have a level of yourself where, I mean, again, it's if you're not full of yourself, then what are you? You're empty. Which one do you prefer? And again, being full of yourself doesn't mean that you're necessarily arrogant. It means you believe in yourself. But society has programmed this way to think. It's like, oh, you better not think good of yourself, because if you think good of yourself, then you're arrogant. And if you're arrogant, then you're a bad person. Really? Like, if you ever think about it, like, really? What a bad person is really somebody who's insecure and is trying to be bigger than who they are, and they destroy everybody on their way up. But somebody who's confident in themselves doesn't give a shit about what everybody else is doing. I'm focused on my goal, and if I have to believe in myself just a little bit more to get there, that's what I have to do. Because what I'm doing is good. By uplifting myself, I uplift other people. By believing in myself, I inspire other people. So you got to be careful of that little trick that society does on us. And being humble, again, is a beautiful thing. But if you look up the word humble, it's not a good word. It means putting yourself beneath. You should not be beneath or above anybody. You should just be equal. And everybody should be full. But everybody's empty. So Just rewire that point of view, Mimi, and don't put it a label. Don't give it like, you're gonna discover who you are by trying. And the point is, it's like you can reframe that by saying something like, I don't know if I'm that powerful, but I'm willing to discover if I am. I'm open to the idea that I could be. Who doesn't want to be special? I do. And I'm sure many of you guys do. It's okay to want that. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to see it. We have to try, And so the point I'm saying this is one of your battles, okay? So you got to overcome that, because if I don't believe in myself, I'm not going to try, and that's the problem. You don't believe in yourself deep down, Mimi. And the reason that's what's holding you back. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're capable of something beautiful. And the reason why you're confident in manifesting is because you proved it. You believed that you could do it, and then you did it, and then you manifest, and you're like, ha, I got it. So what is it about the word power that you're afraid of? And it could be afraid that, there's always cause and effect is always there, whether it's good or bad, there's always cause and effect. So something for you just to reflect upon and not to be afraid of that. It's okay to be powerful. It's a tool. It's just a tool. How I use it, that's a different story. Power is just a tool. And in fact, the word power is to affect, influence, and get about what I want. That's all it is. I can do it for bad, sure. But if you're a nice person, it's not very likely. It just amplifies, like money, amplifies who you are. And there are going to be shadow aspects to us. So, as long as you don't kill anyone or harm anyone, you're okay. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I always tell people. It's like, we're so afraid of these things, but it's like, even if we are arrogant, let's just say, and who are you hurting? The other thing that came up was the dolphin people. So I don't know. I felt like this was a little bit to do with relationships, because you mentioned love. So I'm not quite sure. Are you in a relationship? Or are you seeking a relationship? Because what I got is flirtation and distraction. So it's almost like either you're attracted to or drawn to, or there's some kind of distraction. Oh, thank you, Sam. I appreciate you. Yes, I did. Sorry, as in like you are in a relationship? It's going to give me a little bit more to go off. Married a long time, soulmates. It can get stale. Well, maybe that's what you need then. That would make more sense. Well, I think that it's also like the staleness is because you guys are, I mean, when I get the dolphin people, it often means like being distracted and not focused. So I think the staleness is because you guys need, again, that excitement and that playfulness to come back. Dolphins are very playful and flirtatious. So maybe there's a bit more of that like excitement that needs to come back. Because it can mean two different things, this card as well. It can mean somebody's distracted and has an eye off for somebody else. So they're being attracted to something else and not what is in, yeah. So, but it can also mean you need to bring more joy and more playfulness and more silliness and more like lightness in the relationship, because it reactivates that like first reason why, it's like when we first fall in love, we're giddy, we're silly, So I think somehow that needs to be reactivated and not being so distracted by all these other things. So when you have time in the relationship, really be in the relationship as best as you can. And it's normal when you get married, it's like, you get used to each other, the excitement dies out, but there are things that you can do to bring back some of that excitement. So maybe this is to do with your relationship again. The centaurs are here to remind you that in order to help yourself, you must release your pride and stubbornness. This situation calls for a union between the heart and the mind. Only when they work together will you find clarity and strength needed to move forward. Let go of your ego and what is best for all. It doesn't have to, and do what is best for all. It doesn't have to be fair. It just has to be right. So This is something that I'm finding, especially like now that I'm married for a little while, is like, yeah, little things come up and silly things get in the way. And sometimes what's the most important thing, right? Is it the health of the relationship or being right? I've gone to menopause. He wants excitement and sometimes I am not. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine, So it's a hard one, right? Um, but there are other ways, I think, to have connection and intimacy and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't always have to be how it was. And again, sometimes it changes, and it's hard to change anything that you guys have been gotten into a habit about. So again, I wish I had a better answer for this one, but it basically is saying like it's just more about like focusing. So don't make it about him, make it about the relationship. So Selma Hayek, I think, said this, which I loved and I bring this up to my husband all the time. Is like whenever him and I have an issue, I'm like, instead of making you wrong and me right, or me right and you wrong, why can't we both work together to fix the issue? So as opposed to going against each other, we're working together as a team to deal with the issue. So now we're bonding over this one thing that both of us have a problem with, as opposed to you are the problem. And it can be anything. And so sometimes when I bring that up, it helps a lot, because now we're like shifting perspective from, oh, you're the enemy and you're causing the problem, to this is the problem. How can we resolve this together? How can we work together to fix this? And sometimes one of us has to sacrifice something, or sometimes, it's like a moment of pride or whatever, but that's essentially what's coming up here. So how can you work with your husband as a team together to resolve this issue? And hopefully he's willing to, because sometimes it's like it takes two to tango, right? So it's can't always just all be you. But there is something that's changing, like you said, and so it just requires some adjusting. Wish I could give you something a little bit more around that, but that's basically what's coming up with that. Okay, so I'm going to read these two as well. Just maybe they'll make sense to you. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromising, waiting for perfect timing, and make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So again, it's something, again, just it's almost like, honestly, what I'm hearing here is almost like you gotta have to be the bigger person in the situation, because even though you're the one who's going through menopause, this is not something that he can relate to. So it's not something a men can understand. It's like they get it intellectually, but physically they don't know what that feels like. So it's almost like sometimes, and this is the kind of situation, I feel like you're gonna have to compromise and be the bigger person for them to kind of understand or come around somehow. I don't know how else to describe it. So, but again, it's saying make time for those around you, take a sensible approach, deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So I don't know if it's making you upset or if it's like creating some kind of like emotional discomfort, but it's like it's saying cooperation and compromise, wait for the perfect timing. So again, I feel like it's also like it's something that's going to take a little bit of time for you guys to fix. And we have the Two of Cups, so emotions are like moving up and down, but it can be done and it can be fixed. It's just a matter of time, and it's just it's a cycle in the relationship that's changing. I'm trying to listen if there's anything else, but I'm not hearing anything else. So yeah, so that basically is like, oh, bye Eileen, thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate you. So does that make sense, Mimi? Is there anything, because I feel like, I mean, as far as the spiritual and the work stuff, they're being very clear here. You got to stop believing in yourself. You got to step up in that department and stop questioning yourself. And then with the relationship, I wish it was a little bit more positive, in the sense of like, yeah, this is gonna, but this is like you're in it, and so this is like taking time, and kind of like sometimes we just, even though it's not fair, we have to be somehow the wiser one and the stronger one, even though we're the ones who are going through it, if that makes any sense. So it's a hard one, but use the practices. Okay, update those practices for yourself, because I think that's going to be something that you're going to feel better about yourself, and it's going to increase your self-worth and your self-esteem as well. So start maybe creating new rituals with your herbs and stuff, and just see how that makes you feel, and think of it like an upgrading, because your energy has upgraded. So when you do that, it's almost like you're making some powerful energetic shifts, and I think it might even link into your relationship. you know, because then you'll feel more confident, more strong, and more empowered. And then you'll feel more, maybe, I don't know, more playful or more sexy or more whatever, you know, and it might help with the relationship as well. Who knows? And you can do a spell about that too. Why don't you give yourself like a little sensual, I don't know, oil thing to get yourself to feel, I don't know, something, you know? Who knows? Yeah, just don't be afraid to try and test it out. You'll know it worked if it works. You know, that's how you know. But just believe in yourself, my love. Don't ever get in your own way, because that's just silly. I mean, we all do it. Don't get me wrong, but just say I'm willing to see who I am. I'm willing to discover. Just get curious. That's my favorite word lately. Just get curious. I'm curious about this. All right. Any more questions, Mimi, before I move on? Tea. I got a song in my head again. I wish you guys could hear it, because then at least we could dance together. I'm just over here like, yay. um, just checking in, Mimi. Do you have any more questions before we close out? Dun, dun. While Mimi's still maybe texting or whatever, messaging. So guys, any more questions? If you guys have any more questions, now it's the time. If you'd like me to pull a card for you, feel free to just put your name down or just say I want a card or whatever. If not, feel free to ask a question. And if not, we can always go into that Reiki session, that angel Reiki session that I mentioned before. So you guys let me know where you're at and what you would like, because this is about you today. So whatever you guys need. And again, check out the courses. If you have any courses that you would like me to make or create, I had a suggestion today. It's like how to start fresh, how to do new beginnings, new starts. That's a good suggestion. It always helps me, because then I can start creating new energy. Oh, I'm so glad, Mimi. Sending you so much love. You got this, girl. Yeah, this is the thing. You're a lot more powerful than you know you are. Would love a card, Jacqueline. Sure. Sue. Let's see what comes up. Get one more just to get some clarification. Okay, so you got put your burdens down, pause and observation, and temperance, balance and harmony. So what I'm hearing right now is that things are a bit much. So when they say put your burdens down, there are things that you don't need to hold on to right now. And I think sometimes we hold on to it because when we get into like an anxious state or into like an overwhelmed state, everything becomes important all of a sudden. But when everything's important, nothing's important. So what I'm hearing here is that basically like you just need to drop some stuff, okay? So you can deal with that later. It's not a priority right now. These things are not that important. So what is important right now? What does matter to you right now? What is the number one thing that you got to work with right now so that it solves everything else? And essentially, it's like you just got to restore some balance in your life, and harmony. I mean, more than balance and anything else. And when we want to create, yes, we have relationships with people, life, and the world, but there are things that we can do to create more of that peace and that calmness, like practices of meditation, healing, not getting involved in drama, not going on social media. You know, like there's little things like that that can really help us to bring us that peace. Again, easier said than done, I know that, but it's really about just for you to shed some stuff. So I don't know if this is making sense to you, but it's very clear. You know, it's just being overwhelmed by all these things, needing to basically like let them go, just dump them, so that you can bring that harmony and that stability and that balance where you can manage everything much better, as opposed to feeling like everything's just happening all at once. Very simple reading, but I think it's sometimes the simple ones are the ones that make the most amount of sense. Does that make sense, Sue? Makes so much sense. Well, experiencing burnout symptoms and struggling with it, trying to find balance but don't know how. There you go. So I would say, yay! I love that, Kelly. She's like making my list. Yeah. So what this is, my love, is really just, again, I learned this in business, and this is my favorite thing that I've ever learned about business, is like a couple of things actually: the 1% rule and then the triangle. So when you think of the triangle, especially because I work with people who are very busy, you know, they manage stress very well. Like entrepreneurs have to manage stress really, really well. So what they taught me in this, and this is, by the way, not them, they study it and it's been passed down. It's like, again, if everything's important, nothing's important. So when you learn the triangle, basically think about a triangle, right? So you got to find the number one thing that is the most important thing that you have to deal with right now. F everything else. Everything else can be put on the back burner. Just deal with that one thing. And that can change day by day, okay? But, like, for instance, if I'm feeling depressed today, my number one priority is dealing with my depression. When I used to work in rehab, you know, I used to tell the clients, it's like, your number one priority is not your bills, it's not your house, it's not your family, it's not your relationships, it's your sobriety. Because if you can't get your sobriety in check, everything else is going to get destroyed. So when you deal with the number one thing, it kind of helps resolve most of, like, the things that you thought were a problem somehow resolves themselves because you dealt with the most important thing. But if it's not, if it's the triangle's upside down, you're going to get crushed because everything is too much. Everything's too important. Therefore, nothing's important. So sometimes it requires us of being selective, and we can't take too much at the same time. We're humans. Like, so this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, cleaning the house doesn't matter, that doesn't matter, I can deal with that later. What do I need right now? What is the most important thing that can get me to the next thing? And so just getting rid of stuff. You got to get rid of stuff. You got to empty out. Yeah. Again, easier said than done, but it's, yeah, one thing at a time. Some people can, I mean, if you're in a good place, you can manage multiple things. You know, when you're well and healthy and very well balanced, of course you can take multiple things going at the same time. But when you're stressed and when you're overwhelmed and when you're burnt out or when you're in a crisis, no, you have to deal with the most important thing and get that out of the way first. You know, so once you get that, then everything else, it just flows much easier. And it doesn't mean there won't be obstacles, but it means you can deal with it much better. Yes. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little tip as well, Sue. One of the things that we can do, guys, is also automatic writing. So you can write a message to yourself. It's like, to my higher self, please write to me and through me, what is my priority right now? What is the number one thing that I have to address right now? So write a letter to yourself and just basically have that conversation with yourself. And you have to write it, guys. You can't just sit there and ask the question and hope for the answer to come. It's very important to, like, write it, and you have to write at least a whole page of it and just keep writing, just see what comes up. No judgment, no punctuation, don't worry about any of that. Just like, what is it I need to deal with right now? What is the most important thing? What is coming on? Just have that conversation with it, because it taps into the subconscious mind and reveals information that's hidden. And when it reveals information, you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think about it. It's almost like you're talking to somebody else, because sometimes when we keep it inside, we think we could hear everything clearly, but then we voice it. It's like going to see a therapist or something, or speaking to a friend, and then you're like, I didn't even realize that. So these little things help us a lot, especially when we're in, like, crisis moments. Okay. Any more questions, guys? If not, like I said, we can get to that. We can do a little meditation and just do some energy cleansing if you guys like. Itchy eye. My husband turned on the AC, thank God, because it's so hot. I love it how he checks for the animals. That's the one thing I'll say that he's reliable on. Cool. All right, I don't see any questions, so why don't we do that, guys? Why don't we just do a quick meditation? So for those of you who can, oh, you're so welcome, Sue. So let's do that meditation. So this is just going to be like a cleansing and a detoxing kind of meditation. I also did a new meditation recently. I didn't pin it because it's a pain to pin everything. But it's called the Hara meditation. I highly recommend you guys go and check that one out. It's basically a different energy center in the body, and it's more about bringing things into the physical as opposed to, like, we always think of it kind of like the spiritual. Um, sorry, I'm laughing because I post these videos on YouTube, and occasionally I will get somebody who will make a comment that is just like, I don't know, man. It's like maybe the more human, less evolved part of me is just like, yeah, that's a problem when you think like that. And in the conversation, I basically said something like, oftentimes in the spiritual world, we think about manifestation from like the top chakras, right? We think of it like something out there and above. And in this video, I talk about how it's actually said that the physical world is more spiritual and more like the matrix than the other side. And somebody just commented, and they were like, what idiot would think that you manifest from the top chakras? Everybody knows. It was like something like, and I'm just like, it was like, I can't remember what he said. So then of course I had to say something back, and I was just like, we're all ignorant, sweetheart. I was like, oh, I don't know why. Sometimes it gets to me. I gotta say it. I usually let these things go because I'm like, it's not worthy of responding. But I'm just like, that's not very nice, dude. Like, anyway, all right. So let's do the meditation. So, taking a moment to call forth your spiritual team. So today we're going to work with the angelic realm. This is angel Reiki that I do. I love it. You can do this anytime by yourself. So of course we can hire somebody to do Reiki. I'm not a Reiki master, by the way, but this has been a practice that I've been doing for a long time. So I'm not doing the Reiki. We're calling down the angelic realm, an angel to come down and do Reiki on you. So very different. So if you can, lie down or sit down or whatever. If you can't, then just listen. I'm sure it'll still help a little bit. Just be present, whatever you're doing. So whenever you guys are ready, if you can, just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and just beginning to center yourself, just bringing yourself into a state of presence and stillness. And just bringing all your attention and focus to your breath, just feeling the cool air entering and the warm air exiting. And just let go of expectations, attachments. Just be present with your energy, with this moment in time where you are at. And taking a moment of gratitude for where you're at, even though it may still be challenging, but you're alive, you're okay. In this moment, right here, right now, you are okay. And so when you breathe in now, I want you to visualize white energy entering your body, cleansing your body, and on the out breath, just releasing anything and all that is weighing you down, suffering, sadness, depression, stress, burdens, anything and all. If there's something specific that is weighing you down, just literally feel it being detoxed out of your body. I like to see black cloud or black smoke as I exhale, and as I breathe in, I'm breathing in that divine energy, that powerful frequency from above. And just noticing the body calming down, noticing the nervous system feeling safer and safer, more and more centered, more and more present. And then whenever you're ready, I want you to visualize a circle of divine energy being created around you. This is a celestial frequency from the angelic realm. And so you can visualize this. I like to see it as like beautiful, glistening, glowing white energy with gold sparkles just moving around me and creating an energetic container. Essentially protecting my energy, allowing me to be in the center of it, to receive this frequency, and to tune in and plug into the angelic realm with ease and flow. And as this energy is forming around you, it's purifying, cleansing, and uplifting your aura and your energy field. And so today we call forth the angelic realm as we invite them to place some Reiki into our body, into our energy field, our emotions, our minds, to cleanse us and release any toxic energy, any lower frequencies, anything and all that is holding us back from achieving, receiving, and activating our most abundant, loving life and self. Today we give the angelic realm full permission to do this without fear and restrictions. We call you now and thank you. And so I want you to feel that angelic presence showing up. However they show up to you, just trust. And if you feel and see nothing, that's perfectly fine too. See, I have a visual right now in my mind, but you might feel their presence, their energy around you, whatever works for you. I can feel that presence. And if you feel like you're making it up, just let it be that. And so whenever you're ready now, visualizing a hand being placed right in front of your third eye. And from the palm of that hand, that celestial, angelic energy begins to move out in a vortex kind of shape or form and moving into your third eye, into your mind. And just like we detox the inside world and our aura, we're going to detox our mind and our third eye chakra. So this energy enters and cleanses and clears out anything and all that is holding us back, any negative thoughts, any old programmings. And I can just see white energy and white light in my mind. And gently and slowly the angels removing anything and all that is unwanted and unwelcome. And then the angel places another hand just above your chest. And the same, that energy enters your chest, purifying your heart, washing away any heaviness, any toxicity, any negativity, any pain and suffering, gently removing that and amplifying the frequency, activating the frequencies of love, abundance, acceptance, and just seeing that powerful divine light just entering your heart, waking your heart up, reconnecting you to your spiritual self, to your divine self. And just saying, thank you, I receive, thank you, I receive. And then finally they remove their hands and they place both of their hands just where your navel is. And from both of their hands, energies move into your navel, connecting to the rest of the energy centers. And once again, feeling this energy enter your navel and cleansing and clearing and activating and purifying. Thank you, I receive. Thank you, I receive. Just feeling lighter and more open, more centered, more connected. Feeling that heaviness gently being washed away. And so finally now the angel steps back and just seals all of this by creating an energetic shield or some kind of bubble of energy around you, just sealing in and creating an extra layer of energetic protection from anything outside to enter, and keeping and holding this high frequency for the rest of the day or for the rest of the week if possible. Bringing in blessings and love. And just trusting that anything that leaves our life, it is for our highest and greatest good at this time. Rejection is protection at this time. So thank you, I accept, I embrace, I allow. And Just inviting now the angel to send you anything else that you need at this time, more specific to you. And just feeling that safety, that support, that love from the angelic realm as they will continue to watch over you for the rest of the week. And now that we have finished this, the beautiful angel just fades away, flies away, whatever you see them, and that beautiful circle around you fades away. Just leaving you in this peaceful bubble, in this powerful shield of light and love. Taking a deep breath in and let it go. And then gently beginning to move your toes and your fingers. And whenever it feels right, coming back and opening your eyes. Welcome back, everybody. It's always nice to get a little boost from the angelic realm. Thank you, Mimi. Yeah, they always make me feel way better. All right. So, guys, any more questions before we close out? Feel free. You're hugging yourself. Yes. See, you learn fast, Kelly. I love that. Love it. I love it. Yay. Amazing, guys. Very cool. Well, I don't see any more questions or any more anything. Good to know, Kelly. I'm glad. Well, you attracted it. You showed up. You know what I mean? And so that tells you a lot, you know. You created that. You aligned with it. So remember that that's the gift that you gave to yourself. So beautiful, guys. Well, I'm sending you all of the love and the light, and make sure that you guys take care of yourselves. Feel free to go, and obviously for those of you just joined or who have just the first time hung out with me, make sure to check, oh my god, I can't speak anymore. Make sure to go and check out my meditations and my courses on Insight Timer. Hopefully they can help you and give you some more peace and some more alignment and anything else like that. And very much looking forward to hanging out with you guys again soon for the next live. And don't be afraid to ask questions or to request anything, because I'm always open for requests for meditations or courses to create, because I always love to get some ideas. Oh, you're welcome, Johnny. Good to see you. So I'm so grateful, guys, for hanging out with me today, for your love, for your energy, for your time, and I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'm wishing you a beautiful, magical day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Have a good one.